Okay, so what is up, guys? It's Nick here, and welcome back, I guess, to another video. Um, Personally, I don't really care if you're watching this, but this series is for me to analyze my games, see what I'm doing right, see what I'm doing wrong, and, I'm making the video, recording my voice over it and stuff, so why don't I just go ahead and post it on YouTube? So yeah, um, I guess have fun watching. This is going to be Plat to as high as I can get this season, so yeah, have fun. Okay, so here Hecarim says he's coming in, so I go in. Hecarim gets the knock back on him. Malphite flashes. I flash in, ignite, and land the fadeaway Q as he exhausts me. So both of his summoner spells are down. And then I'm farming, and I'm like, okay, it's time to go back. So I type GJ, and I'm like, okay, my shadow's up, and I'm going to shadow away. Didn't even see Zac coming in. And honestly, that was a pretty big mistake, shadowing away, because we could have killed him if I had my shadow. So, yeah, that was my bad. Okay, so here's Sion's ulting in. And I'm like, okay, I go in. And I shadow and I ult and then I ignite. So it's a waste of my ignite. And we got the kill even though I wasted my ignite. So now Hecarim's here and I see the tower. So instead of going back, I go over to the tower and I'm like, yeah, that's a pretty good idea. Let's just get the mid tower. Right? And then Zac comes in. And then Hecarim and Sion are like, let's kill Zac. And I'm like, well, okay, if you guys are going to tank, right? So I shadow in. And then Sion takes 3 turret shots and dies. And then apparently Zac's blobs count as his champion. And I take 2 turret shots and die. And then Veigar comes in and kills Hecarim. So it was bad on all of our parts. Yeah. Alright, so here I can see Sion over on the left side. And Jin lands a really good W for the snare. And 2 shots from his ult. I get exhausted. I ignite. I don't ignite. I flash and E in. But he lives with like 32 HP and I'm sad. Okay, so here as you can see the mid tower's down, and I shadow forward to clear the minions, right? And then I get caught in between the tower and Veigar stun, and I just get completely deleted, so yeah, I messed up. Okay, so here we just got the dragon, and it was a fire dragon, so we obviously have the lead in damage. Oh god. And then Zac comes in on me, so I dodge that even though it wasn't going to hit me. And I'm chilling here because I awkwardly have no abilities right now. And then I Youmu's because I'm like, I see Caitlyn's booty. And then I go for Caitlyn's booty, I ignite her, and I one-shot her pretty much. And then we win the fight pretty convincingly, to be honest. It was weird though. Alright, so I see a very like half HP Veigar under the tower. And I'm like, okay, let's just kill him with freaking full combo. And I'm like, alright, well, that's cool. And then I shadow in. And Zac flies to me, and I'm like, huh? What are you doing, Zac? And then Riven comes up behind our team, and I'm like, oh, he's trying to initiate for Riven. But Riven can't 1v5, and then she kind of just fails. So here I see Caitlyn trying to free farm, and I'm like, nope, I don't want you to get strong. And then pretty much just one-shot her, and Zac's like, I'll save you. And I'm like, no, you won't. And she dies. So here I'm farming in mid, and I shadow in. And Jin comes in and he's like, okay, let's push mid. And here we have our mid laner and our AD carry. And we see the Twin Shadows and we're like, fuck. And we see Zac and we're like, fuck. And we're both slow. And we see Veigar and Malphite and we're like, fuck. And so I flash away from the Zac E and Veigar's stun. And then I honestly should have just shadowed away here. But I see the ability to kill Malphite. And it turns out that he has exhaust and his ultimate. And things just turn out bad. Alright, and here we're doing the Rift Herald, right? And there's 3 of us here, while Sion and Hecarim are like coming from halfway across the map. And this thing likes to reset at really weird times, and I don't know why. So I type a question mark in the chat. And then I see Riven, I'm like, okay, well Riven, you're not going to be able to stop this, I'll zone you. And she almost kills me, and I shadow away and dodge the Rift Herald from hitting me, and then Zac flies in, and I'm like, dang it, Zac, get away from me. And then I go back in, I'm like, okay. And then his Sunfire Cape brings me to like 50 HP, and I'm like, huh? But we kill him, so it's okay. Alright, so here I see our entire team, and they're grouped around the tower, and that tower is really hard to defend, so I decide to try and go help. But then our team starts dying, and I'm like, alright, I'm gonna go push mid. And then I realize that bot lane tower is really low. And I'm like, oh, I can actually just go kill that. So I basically effectively run from mid to top to mid to bot. I waste so much time when I could have just gone bot. So, yeah. And then Malphite shows up, and I'm like, oh my god. I screwed up. So yeah, might be. Alright, so here we finally decide to finish off this tower. And there's 4 of us down here while Rumble is still top lane. And we see Malphite, and he is definitely overextending, so we just burst his ass. And then I go in and I'm like, oh, I can Shadow and kill Veigar, but I couldn't get in range. And then Hecarim goes in, we kill Veigar. Use my ultimate on him because he's actually way more fed than his AD carry. And then, he's the support, by the way, yeah, weird. And then Zac comes in, and it's like, oh, hi Zac. And he's disrupting our backline while Rumble is TPing. And I see Riven's out over there low, looking for a way to maybe kill our Jhin or Sion or something. So I decide, okay, I'm kind of going to zone this Riven once I have my W back up. So I go over here, and I'm like, Riven, why are you chilling there? And I ward. And then I'm trying to zone her off while the rest of our team pushes the tower. But it's not really working, because she's not really scared of me. I accidentally put my Shadow. It's not really an accident, but it was a mistake. And I put it over the wall. And then Rumble gets caught. Sion had a great knock up there, but Rumble just got straight caught. And then Malphite's chasing down our Jhin. And Jhin heals. And then he throws a snare. And I see Zac, and I'm like, maybe I can kill Zac. But I miss my Shadow, and then Zac goes for Jhin. And Jhin, luckily, gets a good crit. Well, not luckily, but he gets a good kiting and kills Jhin. And then kills Zac. And then I'm like, okay, Caitlyn can be easy to kill. So I killed her really quickly with my Ignite, my ult, and then I got away. And then Riven's chasing me, so I'm like, I need a flash. And I flash over that. And then I'm like, okay, she probably isn't chasing me anymore. So I start recalling in here, and I get about a half second into it. And then I see Riven, I'm like, oh, damn. And I place a ward behind me, so I know if she's still chasing. She hits the ward, and I'm like, okay. And I start recalling. So all in all, we overstayed pretty bad. Okay. So here I see Veigar, and he doesn't have Zhonya's yet. So I go in on him, and I one-shot him. And then I'm like, team, back me up. And they back me up. And awkwardly don't have any spells as Zed, so I'm just kind of chilling in the backline. And I see Riven, and she's going in on I don't really know who. Meanwhile, Jin's focusing the tower the whole time. And we're just like, okay, we got Riven. The Caitlyn ult on Rumble gets blocked, which was really good. And then Zac goes in, and he's like, I will get Rumble. And he tilts Rumble and then gets away with 1 HP. And so I'm like, okay, let's just get the inhibitor. Oh my god, there's no reason to chase Zac. And so we get the inhibitor, and then I'm like, okay, let's go get top lane. Because top lane tower's low. And look who ends up to be there. Zac! And it's like, okay, we can kill this guy. So Jhin lands that, and then I'm like, oh god, I'm not going through this again. Just like at 10 minutes. And we do get him, but then Veigar flashes, ignites, and ults our... he doesn't have Ignite on our Hecarim, and I'm like, maybe I can kill him because I have my ult, and he doesn't have Zhonya's yet, but then Malphite shows up, and I'm like, okay, I didn't get close enough fast enough, so I just ran away. And I'm like, alright, let's leave. So here I had noticed that Riven was top lane, and luckily she ends up to come right here, so I pop my Youmu's, I go in, and I one-shot her because she's the main problem right now, and then I'm like, alright, well, now we can just do Baron, even though 2 of our team is bot, their entire team goes to contest bot lane. So here's another super long fight. Okay, we start taking Baron while their team is completely ignoring our 3-man Baron and sending 4 people to contest their our 2 people pushing bot lane. Keep in mind, this is a Sion and a Rumble pushing bot lane. So what are they gonna do? What are they gonna do, right? You can send just Veigar and stop them. So we end up getting Baron, and then I'm like, okay, well I can go push top lane with the Baron buff instead of recalling. So I go up to top lane, and meanwhile my team is fighting. My two members are fighting, and they kill Veigar. And Sion and Rumble somehow managed to kill Veigar in a 2v4. And then Hecarim and I see this tower here, and we know that everybody else is bot lane. So we're like, okay, let's kill Riven and get the tower. So I go in, and awkwardly Riven outplays me, but Hecarim, super strong, anyways, gets it. And then we push the top tower, and we're like, alright, let's move on to the inhibs, because, nobody's here yet. And I'm watching to make sure Zach isn't charging up his E, and I know he's charging up his E, so I shadow away from it just as we get the inhib, start focusing him down, but he ults, and then Hecarim's chilling in the backline. I'm trying to tell him to back, but he's like, I'm a ballsy horse, and then he kind of just waddles out on his own, and he's heading bot lane. So at this point, what I'm doing is like, okay, maybe I should sit in there and try to find a pick, but there was no pick there for me to get. And about 20 seconds later, Rumble starts channeling TP, and I'm like, cancel it! And he does. Just as Zach jumps right on top of it. Jhin wastes his ult, gets like very little damage on Malphite, and I'm like, okay, my entire team's bot, and my team can probably 4v5, so I'll head top. And in this entire time, I'm thinking, what if my team dies? Is that a throw? But I'm like, nah, they won't. And I end up heading top because I just want to interrupt their team's defense of their bottom inhibitor and stuff. And then I'm like, oh shit, my team is fighting without me, so I run over there. And then I'm like, I wasted time. My team can win that. Why not just get the turrets? And then I'm like, okay, but here's a free kill. And I go in and I kill Veigar, and I'm like, okay, maybe I can get Caitlyn too, but I didn't want to get bursted. And yeah, we won this game. Pretty convincing win. It was a very, very, it felt really, really good to win that game. So, yeah, good game.